This is my real life sized Thor hammer, and today I'm going to be showing you how I built it. Let's get to it. So when I first started this project, I had a bunch of different ideas on like what the design could be or how I could build it, and my ideas were either just too expensive or I didn't have the right tools to build it. And so eventually what I did was I started searching around in my garage for just scrap parts that I could use. What I came up with was just a bunch of different pieces of wood and a metal tube that I could use for the handle. So once I had the supplies, I looked up the exact measures of Thor's hammer and I began measuring and cutting up the wood to make the head. Once I pieced all the wood together, I realized something was missing. Then I remembered something. Thor's hammer isn't just a block. So then I began cutting off the edges. And of course, I only filmed myself cutting off the edges and not what it looked like after. Anyway, after I'd cut off all the edges and shaped it to the right lengths, I began drilling a hole for the handle to fit in. This genuinely took me so long because I didn't have the right drill bits, the drill guns kept dying, and I didn't clamp it down to anything while I was drilling. So basically I was just fighting myself until I made a hole big enough for it to fit. Once I was finished with that, I rode my bike into town to buy a drill bit and 2 threaded pieces of metal so that I could connect the handle to the head. Guys, this drill bit literally cost me $15. Yes, I know you're probably like, but $15 isn't even that much. Well, I'm 14 and I'm unemployed, so it's a lot to me. Anyway, back to the hammer. Then I drilled 2 more holes for the hammer and put the threaded pieces of metal through the holes to hold it all together. And with that, the hammer was finished. I'm just kidding. We still need a lot more work on this thing. So my idea was that I could plate the whole hammer head in metal. Okay, so get this. I'm riding my bike into town, right, to go get some sheet metal. And I decided to bring $30. So I get to the store. The sheet metal literally cost $30.99. I was so annoyed. But then I remembered I had a friend that was across town who would be kind enough to lend me $1. So I ride my bike all the way back across town, take the $1, ride back to the store, and I forgot there was tax. Then I ride my bike all the way back to my friend again, and then she finally just gave me $5 and I was able to buy the sheet metal. So when I got what I needed, I went back to the house and began cutting up the metal sheet so that it would match the faces of the hammer's head. Once the shapes were cut, I drilled holes in each of them and screwed them into the hammer. Then I grinded off each one of the screws and the threaded metal rods just to make it look nicer. Okay, so if you've seen any movie with Thor in it or read the comic books, you know that Thor's hammer can control lightning. And I was trying to figure out a way that I could do that. So my first thought was I could use a little sparker that's found in a little lighter. But the only problem with that is I had already used it in a previous little mini Thor hammer that I'd built, and they're not that effective. Then my second thought was, couldn't I just use a Tesla coil? But honestly, I was already over budget with the video, which the video's budget was literally $0, so I had already spent like $40 on something that I did not want to spend any money on. And so because I didn't want to spend any more money, I dug through a box of old scraps and electronics, and I found the guts of a bug zapper. My first idea was to carve a piece of the hammer's head out and place the batteries and the bug zapper material into the top of the head. But then the batteries kept falling out and there wasn't enough electrical shock in it. So I bought a 9-volt battery and plugged it into that and literally just put it inside the handle. Then I taped the wire to the handle so that it could give me a better grip and I wouldn't get zapped every time I use it. Then I soldered a nail into one of the wires. I think this design is really cool because whenever I touch it to any part of the metal, it creates a little zap, and I really like that. Obviously it's not perfect, but I really do like the way it turned out. Well, that's it for this video. Let me know what you guys think, not only about the hammer, but also how the editing and the filming is. I'm pretty new to this, so I really appreciate your guys' input, and yeah, make sure to comment down below what I should make next. See you in the next video. Tucker out.